These are terrible. But the worst part of all of this, Caitlin Clark got kneed in the groin, throat punched, landing space, no call, and Stephanie White sat there on the sidelines with her arms crossed, tweaking, sniffing, twitching away. This is a coach that said, I ride with Caitlin Clark. Stephanie White, you ride with Alyssa Thomas. You ride with DeWanna Bonner. You don't ride with the CC22. You wish you did. You want people to think that you do, but...
At this point, both sides of the debate have become firmly entrenched in their positions. As a result, every new controversy is viewed through the lens of a much larger conversation. Every disputed call becomes evidence for one side. Every missed whistle is cited as another example. Every physical confrontation reignites arguments that have been building for months. That is why this particular incident was never likely to remain just another play from a regular season game. The discussion intensified further during the Indiana Fever's post-game media session, where questions about the sequence surfaced almost immediately. Officiating quickly became one of the central topics of conversation. When coaches or team representatives publicly question officiating decisions, it often reinforces concerns already being voiced by fans. What begins as an online debate can gain credibility when similar frustrations are echoed by people directly involved in the game. At that point, the conversation extends well beyond social media. It becomes a league-wide discussion involving players, coaches, analysts, journalists, and fans, all weighing in on the same questions about officiating, consistency, and accountability. Whether or not everyone agrees on the conclusions, one thing is clear: the debate is no longer about a single play. It has evolved into a broader conversation about how the game is officiated and how those decisions shape public confidence in the league.
It just needs more consistent help. But as for the refs, I want smoke with all the WNBA refs, bro. Like, they need to be hit with a RICO. They need to be investigated. How are they allowed to control the game the way that they do? They calling fouls that aren't fouls, not calling fouls when they should be calling fouls, making up fouls. Like, how are they allowed to do this and just control the outcome of the game? They got to be on FanDuel, like, making money off this shit or something. Cause
the timing of this controversy makes it especially significant because it comes at a moment of unprecedented attention for the WNBA. There is little doubt that Caitlin Clark has become one of the most recognizable athletes in professional sports. Whether fans admire her game, criticize her style, support her team, or cheer against her, she commands a level of attention that few athletes can match. As a result, every controversial moment is captured from multiple angles, replayed in slow motion, and shared across the internet within minutes. Every officiating decision is analyzed by thousands, sometimes millions, of viewers who examine the footage frame by frame. That is the reality of modern sports. The internet has an extraordinary ability to amplify controversy, and once a narrative begins to gain momentum, it can be difficult to slow. That reality places enormous pressure on everyone involved. Players know that every action on the court can become a headline. Coaches understand that every post-game comment may be dissected for days. Officials face the challenge of making split-second decisions while knowing that each call will be scrutinized from every available angle by fans, analysts, and the media. In today's sports landscape, a single controversial sequence rarely ends with the final buzzer. Instead, it often becomes the starting point for a much larger conversation that can shape public perception long after the game is over.
What up? All right, where do we start? Well, I know where we start. I'm pissed off tonight. A little pissed off starting this one off because this is, what happened tonight in the Fever's loss to the Mercury was egregious. The WNBA needs to do something about it. Alyssa Thomas, the play on Caitlin Clark was dirty. This is now a few things. The play itself in question, just remove anybody involved. Remove the names of those involved. whether it was Caitlin Clark or anybody else, that's a dirty play. Whether it was Alyssa Thomas or anybody else, that's a dirty.
The league feels that pressure as well because every high-profile controversy has the potential to shape public perception. What makes this situation especially significant is that it raises questions extending far beyond a single regular season game. At its core, the debate centers on a challenge every professional sports league faces. How do you preserve the physical intensity that makes the game exciting while also ensuring players are protected through consistent officiating? There is no simple answer. Fans appreciate physical, competitive basketball because it creates emotion, intensity, and memorable rivalries. At the same time, they expect the rules to be applied consistently and fairly. The controversy involving Alyssa Thomas and Caitlin Clark has brought that balancing act into sharp focus. Some believe the officials handled the play appropriately given the physical nature of the game. Others argue the incident highlights broader concerns about player safety and officiating consistency. Those opposing viewpoints explain why the debate has become so passionate. One thing, however, seems certain: this conversation is unlikely to end anytime soon. As long as controversial plays continue to occur, fans will demand explanations. As long as officiating decisions remain open to interpretation, those debates will dominate social media, sports talk shows, and post-game analysis. And as long as Caitlin Clark remains one of basketball's most closely watched athletes, every significant moment involving her will receive extraordinary attention, not just from WNBA fans, but from the broader sports world as well.
Wild goon Alyssa Thomas arrested alongside her partner DeWanna Bonner. Matter of fact, just arrest the entire Phoenix Mercury damn roster. Emergency. This won't be long. The police are on the way. Alyssa Thomas, your ass y'all can't outrun the police. Y'all can't run from the police. The police coming to get your ass. I done called them on you. Talk about this thuggery, a goon attack. Hoodlum activity, straight up hoodlum. I've lost my mind activity. Alyssa Thomas flat out targeted Caitlin Clark. The Phoenix Mercury targeted Caitlin Clark throughout this.
What began as a regular season matchup between the Indiana Fever and Phoenix Mercury has grown into something much bigger than the final score. It has become another chapter in the ongoing conversation about officiating consistency, player treatment, competitive balance, and the direction of a league experiencing unprecedented growth. The biggest question now is what happens next. Will the league review the incident and provide further clarification? Will future games involving these teams be officiated differently? Will concerns about consistency become a greater point of emphasis as the season continues? Or will the spotlight simply move to the next controversy? In today's sports landscape, every controversial moment spreads instantly. Every debate grows larger, and every high-profile incident has the potential to influence conversations far beyond a single game. For now, the discussion continues. Fans are still examining the footage, debating the officials' decisions, and waiting to see whether this incident becomes a genuine turning point or simply another chapter in an ongoing debate that has followed the league throughout the season. Perhaps the most revealing aspect of the entire situation is how quickly the conversation shifted away from the basketball itself. Instead of focusing on the outcome of the game, much of the attention has centered on officiating, accountability, and what the controversy may mean for the WNBA moving forward.
I don't understand it at all.
So even within that, though, how aware do you have to be of the 8 technical fouls?
I mean, I'm going to play with emotion. I'm going to play with passion. And if they're going to give me a technical foul for clapping, then so be it. That's their choice. And the league can come back and review that play. And I'd love to hear what they say of the reasoning of why I got the technical foul in that situation and why other players on their team didn't get a technical foul in that situation. If anything, split it. Okay, fine. Everybody gets a technical foul. That wasn't how they were handed out. So I'd love to know. But obviously, that's what I went to the girl and said. I said, why'd you give me a technical foul? She said, because I was clapping and instigating. I said.
Lost amid the controversy was the fact that the game itself was highly competitive. Indiana battled throughout the night, several players delivered key performances, and the outcome remained in doubt until the closing minutes. Under normal circumstances, those would have been the stories dominating the post-game conversation. Instead, nearly all of the attention returned to the sequence involving Caitlin Clark and the broader debate over officiating. Part of the reason is that many fans no longer view incidents like this in isolation. Supporters of Clark argue that this play fits a pattern they believe has developed since she entered the league. They point to previous games in which they felt officials failed to enforce the rules consistently when she was involved. Others see the situation differently. They argue that physical play has always been a defining characteristic of professional basketball, and that Clark's extraordinary popularity means every incident involving her receives far more attention than similar plays involving other players. That difference in perspective is what continues to fuel the debate. The discussion is no longer centered on one possession or one officiating decision. It has evolved into a broader conversation about consistency, fairness, and the unique spotlight that follows the WNBA's biggest star.
Egregious. I mean, the fist in the throat is crazy. It's crazy. It's dangerous. The landing spot, when you went to review it, and she still comes down on top of another foot, like, I don't know. Because to me, that's like a do-over on a test. How do you screw it up again? And it's just, when you have these things continue to happen time and time again, eventually it gets frustrating. But I thought those...
Regardless of which side fans support, one thing is undeniable: the conversation itself reflects just how much attention the WNBA now commands. Only a few years ago, a disputed call in a regular season game might have generated discussion among dedicated basketball fans before fading from the headlines within a day or two. Today, the landscape is very different. More people are watching than ever before. More fans are following the league closely. Media coverage has expanded, television audiences have grown, and interest in the league's players and teams continues to reach new heights. The downside of that increased visibility is that every controversy is amplified. As the season progresses, league officials will face growing pressure to demonstrate consistency in how games are officiated. Coaches will continue advocating for their players, and every emotionally charged matchup will be examined more closely than ever before. That also means the next controversial moment, whenever it comes, is likely to ignite another wave of debate. Fans, analysts, and the media will once again scrutinize every replay, question every decision, and look for answers about how the league is managing its most closely watched games. In many ways, that level of scrutiny is a sign of the WNBA's growth. With greater visibility comes greater accountability, and every high-profile moment now carries the potential to shape the conversation around the league long after the final buzzer sounds.